How's it sound?
Good.
Okay. How's it sound now? Same? How's it sound now? Same? All right, cool. Far away? Okay. Yeah. How's it sound now? Same? All right, cool.
If you are aware of a state which you call is, or reality,
So you go
Or
twist
life.
straight from here then?
this implies another state called isn't. Or illusion, or unreality, or nothingness, or death. There it is. You can't know one without the other. And so as to make life poignant, it's always going to come to an end. That is exactly, don't you see, what makes it lively. Liveliness is change, is motion. And motion is going like this. See, you're going to fall out. So, you see, you're always at the place where you always are. It keeps appearing to change. And you think, wowee, a little further on we'll get that thing. I hope we don't go further down so that we lose what we already have. But that is built into every creature's situation, no matter how high, no matter how low. So, in this sense, all places are the same place. And the only time you ever notice any difference is in the moment of transition. When you go up a bit, you gain. When you go down a bit, you feel disappointed, gloomy, loss. You can go all the way down to death. Somehow, there seems to be a difficulty in getting all the way up. Death seems so final. Nothingness seems so very, very irrevocable and blunt. But then if it is, what about the nothingness that was before you started? So don't you see? What we've left out of our logic, and this is part of the game rule of the game that we're playing, the way we hoodwink ourselves is by attributing powerlessness to nothingness.
Dream this, it couldn't be this. Could it be some type of meanness where you are? 'Cause I don't know where to go, and no one else seems to know.
showtime.
How come they don't teach us all the important stuff in school? How come they...
Loud and clear. I can hear you.
Check, check, check. LB, is this better? Ah, there I am, he says. Okay, cool. Alright, so welcome. This is Mind Clash Live, episode number 64. Unfortunately, Mr. Merdud is away skiing upon the slopes of some sort of mountain in the North Pole. And to answer your question, LB, here, let me turn up my microphone. But the answer to your question is, what is on my face? This is not a caterpillar. However, it is a mustache that I am wearing or donning in support of Movember. Movember is a pretty important thing to me. If you were watching about this time last year, I also did the same thing while I was in Afghanistan. I got the link at the bottom of the screen. It's mobro.co/Adam Crum, and you can donate, and this goes into support of men's health awareness issues like prostate cancer, mental health issues, suicide prevention, stuff like that. So I do that every year for the past 4 years. I have this nice little fur patch. So anyways, yeah, episode 64. With me we've got Conduct Uzumaki and Dominarch. If you could, let's see, Conduct, go first. Introduce yourself.
Alright, I am Conduct Uzumaki. I am CEO of Two-Faced Marauders. I fly with them, and I fly under the Insurrection. And in-game, I do nothing but PvP.
Nice. And I believe you were on one of the episodes earlier while I was not.
Yes, I was.
Outstanding. I think that was maybe episode 62 or something. Or was that last week?
I think it was a little bit before. It was on the topic of alphas.
Right on, right on. And Dominarch, are you here?
I am here. I'm Dominarch, XO of MPX in the Bastion. I am also only fly PvP. We're a part of the biggest Blue Donut, I guess I could call it, the Imperium. I'm also co-host and co-founder of Clueless Space Nerds podcast.
You are indeed. How's that been going? I actually have not listened to you guys in a while. You kind of, I don't want to say you're on the bottom of my list, but I've got like all kinds of education and history and stuff I listen to, and EVE Online's kind of taking the back burner as far as podcast goes.
I think we're probably in the right spot on your list.
That's good to know.
We are actually, we'll be recording episode 92 this coming Saturday. So we are now finally rapidly approaching 100, which is 100 is going to mark something new for us. We're going to do something different at that point. But it's same as it's always been. We get drunk, we talk shit, and don't know what the hell we're talking about.
Awesome. Hello, Morgan in chat. Nice to see you there. Yeah, so past couple weeks I've been kind of out of the loop as far as the podcast scene and just EVE in general. I really haven't had time to invest. Like I've had a few days off here and there, but just getting into EVE and being like trying to find something to do has been kind of off my mind. So I've actually been playing a lot of Elder Scrolls Online, because that's something you can just kind of jump into and putz around in, you know. But
You pretty happy with that? Pretty cool game.
I enjoyed it. I got the code for it as part of a Humble Bundle. I've kind of pushed that out a little bit. Humble Bundle, you know, you pay $12 a month and you get somewhere around a dozen games in your queue there that you can put into Steam. And I got the Tremule Unlimited package, and I just been going after it.
Nice.
Yeah. So, what about you guys? What have you been up to?
Go ahead, contact.
Eve, really, I've been hooked ever since I started, and now that I am CEO of our New Bro Corp, I've been trying to recruit as many people as possible, and always up to PvP.
I, you know what? I've been pretty active in Eve too. After joining MPX almost a year ago now, or maybe it is a year. I can't tell time. I've been reinvigorated. I've had a great time. Apparently, it turns out that I like being in the big groups with lots of content.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it is for me because being in CO2 was pretty intense as far as there was always stuff going on. People were always real friendly in TeamSpeak, and there was always something to do. But when we transitioned into or dispersed into all these other different corps, I find myself in a group that I don't really know. I just went with them because some of the members from various CO2 corps were going in there, and I don't know, it's just kind of been blah for me.
MPX is recruiting.
Yeah, I can't do that. But the corp I was in actually all transitioned into the Bastion, so I could have gone that direction, but I'm so anti-goon.
I've honestly, I'm working hard to get the Bastion moving in a direction where we can establish our own identity. Not getting very far because I don't know pull or my opinion doesn't really matter there. But not that I would ever want to see them become not allies with Imperium, but they really need to establish their own identity, and I think that would be good for the whole group.
Right. Yeah, and that's one of those things. I wouldn't want to be seen as like, oh, you're a goon. Like I would want someone to say, oh, you're part of the Bastion. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and that's not what happens right now. You're
Yeah.
exactly right.
Yeah. So, anywho, yeah, that's the big gigantic blue donut that is consuming Eve Online. And speaking of Eve Online, there's some things going on today. If you're watching live, you're listening live, whatever, you've got less than 24 hours right now to get that Omega Rush bundle, which is like $99, and you get two multi-character training tokens. I want to say it's 2 months. It's either 1 month or 2 months worth, and then you get like a resculpting and 3 months of Omega time. So it's like a 50% off normal deal. So you got 24 hours left to do that if you check your account. And also there's the King's Ransom bundle or skin package, which gives you a really neat limited edition skin for what is it? Is it a scorpion maybe?
Rattlesnake.
Rattlesnake, one of those animals. So yeah, definitely check that out. You got less than 24 hours. But if you're listening post, sucks to suck. I'll post that link real quick. Uh, let's see. So Devblog came out yesterday. Anybody check that out?
Arms race.
So little Devblog came out finally after a little break from CCP's news output. It's about the alpha release. They have a name for this release that comes out on 5th of December, and that is called the Arms Race.
Yeah, I suppose the name is in conjunction with them allowing alphas to use all the different combat ships, I guess.
Yeah, so basically the gist of it is, as you guys have probably already discussed a couple weeks ago, was the alpha experience cap will be raised, so you'll be able to have more points as an alpha. You can have more skill sets as an alpha, all the way up to a battleship, and Tech 2 modules up to a cruiser, right? Or yeah,
Correct. Yes,
Yeah.
up to medium guns, medium level stuff. Yeah.
right. So I was actually doing a little math on that today to see if you put a meta module like battleship, say like a Typhoon or a Dominix, you can easily push 600 plus DPS with a free character.
I don't think this is OPSEC, but we commonly run cruisers, and the standard fit is not T2. I mean, teachers an option, obviously, but they have no problem with the meta fit. So it really puts alpha characters in a position where they could join a big group. Because I know we're not the only ones who do that. Where they now could be part and take part and not have to be stuck in a frigate.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a big boon for a lot of groups when they can say, hey, fly your free account and you can get in some big fights.
I think this might be enough. Originally, I think they wanted the alpha thing to be a way to bring people back. This might actually work. 5 million wasn't enough. I tried the alpha account. It sucked. I mean, it just wasn't enough. This might be.
Yeah.
And the fact you can do more than one, or you do all 4 races. You're not stuck with just the one race. I think that's a huge one too. That was. I personally know a couple people who had said they would be playing alpha if they could do that.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm an alpha, and I, for one, am extremely excited for this update. It'll give me a lot more time to train rather than go ahead and plexing up.
Well, you do have to do the one plex, right?
Yeah,
Is it that? Is it 1 month it would take to get those extra 15 million? I guess I haven't done the math.
So I think it's either that or you coming back. You had a Omega before, or you had a regular paid account. And now you're coming back, so you get to keep some of those skills. I'm not sure how they're divvying out, like which ones you can keep or not. I'm not really certain on that. But then you also have those daily alpha injectors.
Yeah, that's true. So I wonder if you're coming back to the game. Let's say you've got 80 million skill points, and you have everything that's in that 20 million already. You come back and you go, I'm going to play my character as an alpha. You don't have to re um, omega it for a day just to get access to those 15. If you've got them
No.
already, hopefully you've
Yeah.
got them, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's what I understand. But you can
I
correct.
actually have a couple characters that fall into that category. They
Oh
might
yeah.
they might have like 30 million skill points. I don't know if they've got all those 20, but I'll start skilling them.
Yeah, I definitely do. I've got 4 or 5 alphas sitting around that I use from time to time, for various things.
And the one thing I'm still happy about, I'm glad they did not back off on the no Sinos.
Yeah, yeah. That and cloaking.
yep.
Oh, no cloaking? Okay, I mean, I didn't know that. Right?
Yeah.
He's way too overpowered.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
But yeah, so I mean, that's it's gonna be an interesting time. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, now the key is okay. You do this. You make the alphas viable as all hell. They are perfectly fine now to be able to be in any fleet and enjoy themselves, and have a good time, be able to keep up. Advertise. Now you got to let people know.
Yeah, yes, that would be a thing, unless you fired your advertising and marketing team.
Yeah, you count on the community, right? You just take your community liaisons and have them do. Oh, wait, can't do that either.
Yeah. So speaking of that, I'll skip over. I'll put one piece of news off. But so the other day, CCP put out that they're hiring a community development manager for Project Nova. You're talking about just
They
weeks.
did not say
They
that. Seriously?
did just weeks after they fired their community development manager for Eve Online.
Now, I think maybe they offered that to Manifest. I heard that he was offered relocation and decided not to take it.
Yeah, I think that is the case.
Yeah, that's rumor. I don't know. That's not a fact, but yeah.
Yeah, I was actually listening to the talking stations from 2 weeks ago. I want to say it was that was the one that was just like a few days after they made that announcement. But
Yeah, that's the one. That's where I'm getting the information
yeah,
from.
I think
So,
that's what Falcon said. So yeah, it's interesting. It spells out a few things in my mind, but I'll keep my ideas to myself because I know a lot of people disagree with my opinions, but I see issues in the horizon. What do you guys think? Do you think Eve Online could be looking at some trouble in the next year to 2 years?
I really wouldn't know. I hope not.
I don't know, just me. I give it 15 months
Before what?
before Eve dies.
You know what? For me, what honestly, I've never subscribed to the Eve's dying thing. Right? There's a certain number of people out there that we need to maintain the game. I think they hit that number. Otherwise, it would have been gone a long time ago. What might kill a game will be if the AT is a failure.
Yeah,
The
could be.
AT brings a substantial number of people who continue to subscribe to the game because of that. There's several alliances worth of people. That's all they do is the AT. Hun Reloaded, Hydra, PL. A lot of not all of them, but a lot of them. The groups like that. If being the fact that the person who organized the AT is gone, if that fails or doesn't happen, God forbid, I think that might be enough that like that proverbial straw on a camel's back thing.
Yep, I guess we'll see in roughly a year. I mean,
It's about what? About 8 months from the AT, right?
yeah, should
So
be.
and they usually start to sign for what, like in March or something like that. I think it's
Yeah,
so. Yeah, it's that for me. That's in my opinion. That's going to be a clear indicator of that we may be in trouble.
yeah. Oh well. So another thing that's been kind of put on the back burner from the development team is the faction citadels. I know it was up until recently showing on the Eve updates page as being something happening in winter. I don't know how CCP or the Netherlands or whoever does all their weird seasons, but to me winter is December, so I figured that would be coming out soon. But now it's showing just 2018, and it's posted after FanFest in the order of events. So you're looking at probably May, June.
We're looking at the bare earliest if it's after FanFest would be earliest would be end of April, right?
Yeah,
That'd be the earliest it could possibly be.
yeah. So
In all honesty, I'm okay with that. With them pushing stuff back, if it means that because they're not ready to do it, I'm okay with that. But once again, communicate that to your community through your community organizers. Oh no, we can't do that. It's just I wasn't bitter about this until recently. I thought about all the things that the community organizers should be doing, could be doing, and are not or aren't able to anymore. Now, do I think they were good at everything? No. They did some things good. They did some things very poorly. So there may be reasons behind the scenes that nobody knows why they were let go. Who knows? Yeah, it could maybe they're horrible people, and I don't know. But now because there isn't anybody, no one can do it. This information is not going to be passed along. It's frustrating. And
yeah.
I know I'm sure you feel the same way. Being in the military, communication is huge. Makes
Oh yeah.
all the difference in the world.
Oh yeah. That definitely would have been good this morning as we're packing up our Humvees and Strikers, and they go, "Oh, guess what? We're not leaving till midnight." Like, God darn.
I used to love those midnight um, alerts.
Yeah. So
I, for some reason, was always on CQ when that happened. I don't know how I was unlucky enough to get that to happen. But
yeah. So as far as in game, as we got going on, there's an interesting thing I read on Reddit. It's somebody has, I don't know if it's really putting a bounty on. Well, yeah, it's putting a bounty on, but he will pay you to kill pilots of Lumpy. That's the League of Unaligned Master Pilots. So if you see some of these fellows in their home system or somewhere close to it, this individual will pay you undisclosed amount of ISK per kill mel. I'll go ahead and link that for you.
doesn't say why.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
It does say why. And essentially, bottom line, I guess they had some sort of alignment or agreement with this group, and they had backed out of the agreement or backstabbed them somehow, and so now they're bitter about it and salty, and they want their just desserts. I guess that's the bottom line. But I linked that in the Twitch chat. So that's interesting. I don't know. He said he's got 20 billion to start out with for these kills. So I don't know about you, but if you're into PvP, you might want to go find some of these nerds.
Well, I can tell you from my experience, that's easy money if you know where they are. They are not good.
I've never
Not,
even heard of them.
not. You never heard of
They're the
Bumpy?
group that I was able to successfully fight off by myself when I had when Clue Space Nerds had sovereignty. I had that constellation. Lumpy tried to take it from me and could not, and I defended it by myself. 3 systems. They could not take it from one guy.
Wow. Also, it appears, I don't have any confirmation of this besides the screenshot put on Reddit, but wormhole NPC miners, you know how they have the Empire mining fleets? They're apparently now in wormholes. You guys heard of this?
I have not.
No, I had not either.
Yeah, apparently it's a thing. I'll link this. This guy took a screenshot of a mining fleet, a very substantial mining fleet that also had a defense fleet with it in a wormhole. I actually myself have recently been making forays into wormholes, thinking about going crabbing in one, just taking a few ships and I don't know, maybe a what's the large citadel that you can park um, freaking capital ships in?
The
Fortizar.
Keepstar. Oh, Fortistar, the middle one.
Is it that's large, right?
Keepstar, you can do the super caps, and the Fortistar, you can do the capitals in.
Right. Yeah, because I figured out that you can take capitals or carriers into wormholes, the large wormholes. That's was an interesting, fun 5 wormhole trip I made a few weeks back by myself.
Is it 4s, 5s, and 6s, or 4s, or just 5s and 6s?
I'm not sure. I just
No,
know
not
that
a wormhole. Right?
yeah, whatever the one that says very large wormhole on the description. That was a fun trip, I'll tell you that. So I've been thinking about that. I don't know. Let's see. Well, I guess that brings us to the topic of the week, which, as you guys know, I don't have anything besides open mic and talking about alphas and the future of EVE Online. So, what are you guys thinking as far as these alphas that could be or should be coming in on December 5th?
Yeah, I want to hear Contact that say being an alpha himself. I mean, you got to be excited, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's cool because I have a lot more time now to train, and I don't have to, just go ahead and go to Omega because that's what I was gonna do. I've got tons more skill points, so I don't really got to worry about it too much.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I do kind of I don't know. It would have been nice for me to be able to have a Sino on a alpha account just for a few. I was trying to move all my capital stuff and not having to rely on other people to like, hey man, can you light a Sino when I have 4 other accounts? I'm like, oh shit, well I have to make it Omega now. If there was an option to do, a couple of days worth or a week's worth of Omega time just so I can light a few Sinos would have been legit, but I don't see that happening. And for the most part, that would be probably not good.
I, like I said earlier, the alpha thing is super exciting. I think it's a possibility for Eve finally to really try to get some new players, get some people back. It's the right move. I think it's good.
Yeah, I've seen several people comment on, Eve's Twitter stream about, oh, this is, exciting. I can come back after, being back for a year or being gone for a year, and I didn't have the money, but now that we can do more, it's great stuff. So I mean, it's great, but you just need that more of a push. But I know Eve has or CCP had put out a video that was like on the Typhoon talking about some of the stuff you can do with it as like a little trailer for Eve is free. But man, I don't know what they got to do to try and entice more people to come on in. I think that's what it is trying to they're trying to entice new and returning players, but they're not doing it the right way, I guess.
I'm more excited for access to all races rather than, bigger ships and stuff because I feel like there's so much more that I could do, so many more people I could take on having all of these extra races and their ships now.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like
I
that was
agree.
kind of
I think you're
weird.
right. Um, it gives you so much more versatility.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was one of the things I thought was kind of weird was, especially if you don't know about the game and you go into it and you're like, oh, well, I can't fly all these ships or I can't do this thing. So then you have that unalignment of, different factions. If they wanted to go in faction warfare, then, oh, now I have to make a new account. And
But it's not knowing exactly what you need or want as a new
Yeah.
person. You don't get the option to test it out. I think that was really short sighted of them at first.
yeah, for sure.
If I think back on creating my alpha account, I mean, I just clicked around. I didn't even like. I'm glad I chose Galente now because they've got a lot of good ships. But I mean, I could have chose something way worse.
Yeah, I don't know why I chose Galente on my first character 10 years ago. I think it just looked cool. I think everyone else just kind of looked goofy.
When I started, it was Caldari was all the basically, oh, you Caldari missiles are great because they were the only ones that before the rebounds of everything, missiles were better. Um, but it turned out I really like the Amar stuff, the Amar ships. So it, not had I known that before I'd gone, had a chance to play with, and I did have the chance to play with them, but I didn't. I would have chosen Amar instead.
Hmm. Conduct, when did you start playing Eve?
Probably about 40 days ago or so.
Oh shit!
I
So
have to check,
you
but
just came right into it like right off the bat.
full force.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What do you think so far is probably one of the biggest turn-ons that could get somebody in the game?
Um, for me, it's to just kind of do whatever you want mentality. I mean, you can scam, you can kill, you can kind of just do whatever. I mean, it's Eve.
Yeah. So what like did a friend tell you about it, or you saw a video, or what?
Yeah, the founder of the Insurrection Trace. We are brother-in-laws, and he put me onto it, and ever since then, I've been hooked.
Yep, word of mouth. That's always the best way. I pretty much tell everyone that I know, like, oh man, have you played this game? You online, or whenever they talk about, oh, Destiny 2 just came out. I'm like, yeah, well, Eve Online is this or that. I'm definitely a fanboy. I go out and tell everybody I know.
Well, obviously, you and I both are, Calc. I mean, we take our time to make a podcast stuff about it because we love the game so much. I honestly, I tell people about the game, but I always qualify it with whether or not I think that they can do it or like it, because it's not for everybody. You got to have that mentality. You got to have the just what you described. The open system of it really doesn't lend itself to people who need structure. You need to be able to do your own thing in this game. If you can't, you won't like it. But I do tell a lot of people about it. I just like, well, you probably won't like it, but here's the game.
Yeah, I think that's true. It takes a special mentality. I think a lot of there's quite a lot of military people that play Eve Online because it's kind of got that structure of command and order.
It definitely gives you the ability to put that template in there, doesn't it?
Yeah. And of course we have that wonderful Eve Best of Us community, which I was supposed to find somebody that was in that community. Let me find this real quick. How do I Twitter? I got a message from somebody saying I had to look for somebody. Hobar Mallow. Sound familiar?
Does not.
Yeah, I guess he's somebody in the Eve Best of Us community that wanted to talk about something. Let me see if I can find him real quick. You guys can discuss.
Sorry, yeah, I'm here. Yeah, 1 second.
I actually did find him. He is in the Best of Us group. Let me just add him in here because I know he wanted to come on. Maybe or maybe not. Anyways, yeah, man, I'm kind of running low on talking points. I didn't actually expect to be doing a show tonight. I know Murdad was doing his skiing thing, but I didn't want to deny people the pleasure of listening to my voice for an hour or so. So what other?
That's kind of you.
Yeah, you're welcome. What kind of thoughts and ideas you guys have going forward with EVE Online?
I apologize for being flaky right there for a bit. I'm also in the middle of doing our court meeting, so I had to do my spiel.
Oh,
But I'm done with that now. I think for going forward with Eve, honestly, it's a game that basically with the customer base they have now. I would love to know the number, what it is. How many people do they need to maintain what they have now without changing anything? I don't know that is that many people. It doesn't seem like it's. I have a feeling that the number is within what we're getting now in the 20,000 player range. Um, will we ever see 100,000? No. But they do need to continue doing what they're doing, which is they're always working towards something, whether we like it or not. At least they're working on something. I think always consider that a very positive thing to see a company who's willing to take a few chances. Now, granted, they've come up with some stinkers. There's no doubt about it. But the day that we go a year without any changes to the game, that's when you know it's done.
yeah. I just did a little math on it. If we had at least 20,000 people subscribing to the game every month for a year, you're looking at about just over 3 million in revenue. I don't know about like what profit would be on that, but I mean, I guess that's good. I don't know. Is that good?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. It all boils down to what do those servers cost to maintain.
That's true.
I just don't know the answer to that. I think that one thing we'll have to see is uh, one thing that Eve is lacking right now, not in a design aspect of it, is we need a big war.
Really?
I think so.
Well, I do because I like to fight.
Me too.
I got a few hot choppers. LB, you wanted to jump in, and Hobar Mallow.
Oh, hi.
Hobar, I heard from who was it? Gabby, that you wanted to jump on the show.
Yeah, sure. She said y'all need a guest, and I said I'd be glad to join Kalen.
Yeah, absolutely. Hobar, could you introduce yourself right quick?
I'm Hobro Mallow. I'm in Interstellar Expeditionary Group and a director in the Alliance Einstein Rosen Brigade.
Ooh, yeah, I saw you guys on.
What a great name!
I saw you guys on the ATs, I believe.
Now I don't think we've quite done the AT yet. We're working up to get there,
So
but
I know, I
we're gonna
definitely
try
know,
it.
I definitely know I've heard of your guys' group somewhere. I can't remember. Maybe I read it somewhere.
We've been on Reddit a few times, and I'd say we're starting to become a little more known in low class wormhole space.
Ha, how long's it been around?
We've been going for about 2 years, almost 3 now.
God, I swear I've seen your guys' name pop up somewhere. I know. LB, how about you? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Um, not prepared for what my night brings, but I'm here. I find myself having to contemplate many life choices tonight.
It's like not going to sleep.
Well, I took about a 2 hour nap this afternoon, but I'll see what it's like at about 4 o'clock this morning. You know how military movements are. You know, we're supposed to start at 2, but then then we're not going to get out of the motor pool till 3, and then like, oh, someone forgot something, we're going to turn back around, or who knows.
Hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was gonna say the exact same thing. It's my favorite.
Story of my
Hurry
life.
up and wait.
So what have y'all two been up to in the great game of EVE Online?
Oh, well, not much. Been running around trying to get some pew all day in wormhole space. Had a couple okay fights, but nothing really big.
Yeah, I actually came across a small shattered wormhole the other day. I thought it was kind of interesting. Was cruising around in there, and I wasn't really fit for it. I was actually just trying to find a route through, and as I found out, you can only fit frigates through there, so that really wasn't working out well for me in the situation I had going on.
Oh yeah, you probably found a C-13. It's a small ship only holes connect to it, shattered, that has like C1 and C3 sites in it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, but it was empty. I would have liked to have found a home in there, so I started researching. And I said, oh shit, I can't get anything but a small ship in there. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't believe you can anchor structures in any of the shatters either.
Yeah, that's correct. Oh well, that would have been exciting because it was empty.
Yeah. Oh no, my funnest thing lately is I've been having a blast trying to bait other Asteros and people with battle herons. It's a blast. You should try it.
Nice. Sounds like pretty interesting. So, Hobart, what was it that you wanted to, anything you wanted to plug or talk about?
I mean, I'd say my only plug is Einstein Rosen Brigade. We're always recruiting. We help new bros get into wormhole space, and definitely new bro friendly. So please look us up.
How about alphas? What are you looking for in alphas?
We could take alphas. I mean, we live in a C4, so it's a little difficult for them, but we have fits and we can work around an alpha skill set. I mean, we have a couple guys that came to us as alphas, and after a few months, just decided to go ahead and omega up, and they're still with us.
Nice. LB, who did you say you're with?
I'm an F1 monkey with tactical narcotics team, part of the Imperium.
Ah, TNT, cool. And obviously, you guys are definitely recruiting in alphas. I'm sure by the droves.
We'll take whoever. You got a heartbeat? Come on up.
Will literally take anyone. You don't have to breathe. Nice. What are y'all's thoughts on the state of alphas and the future state of alphas?
I think the changes coming to alphas are going to be good for new players joining and as well as returning players. Like I was saying in chat, there, everybody's got that friend who's in. He's in your comms, he's in your forums, he's lurking. He doesn't play the game, but nobody really quits EVE. It's going to enable that guy to come back on a weekend, fleet up, and go out and have some pew pew with his buddies, and maybe think about dropping some Dylan Omegas.
As far as wormhole space is concerned with alphas, I think the change is actually pretty good because it's going to allow them to get into some slightly beefier ships that can maybe run sites as a fleet with some of us. And the other thing is I will encourage all my members to make a alpha character to train up to battleships just for having a spare rolling ship in the hull.
Yeah, that's always good. I've heard about a possible glitch or bug for small frigate hulls that possibly can't be rolled very well unless you have several ships going through it. Have you heard anything about that, or is that just a something on Sissy? I thought I read that on Reddit today.
I'll have to check Reddit, see that. I usually keep up with most of the wormhole stuff on Reddit. But as far as I know some of the small holes that are frigate only are almost impossible to roll. I'm by no means an expert on this, but I was under the impression that the small frigate only holes regened mass, so it was almost impossible to try to roll them.
Yeah, that's what it was. Something about it regenerates too quickly. I'm trying to remember where I found that. I don't know where I found that. Somewhere. Oh, there it is. Frigg wormhole rolling.
Yeah, most of the time we just bubble them and let them run their life.
Let's see, it was I was not able to roll a frigate wormhole Q008 in a hick for rolling on Sissy as of today using this method in this video. After 12 passes, yeah, couldn't roll it, so.
Okay, it sounds like they may have fixed. Okay, there was a slight bug. I mean, I've used it before myself in the past, where if a ship is too big of mass to go through a wormhole, like with its prop mod on, or like with a hick, you could have its bubbles on. But you jumped through while you were small enough, but then in the split second before you crashed through the hole, you turned on your prop mod to increase your mass, or turned your bubbles off right at the last second, and they went off. That you would put the full mass of your ship on the hole, even though it wouldn't have been able to jump through it before.
So you trick it.
Yeah,
Is that an exploit?
I don't know if that's an exploit, but I mean, it was definitely possible to do something like that.
There was a Higgs boson thing that you could, right? The Higgs rig that you could do something with that and make it. I do remember that too.
Yeah, Higgs rigs increase the mass of your ship.
But weren't they using them for the frigate holes? You're doing something weird. I thought.
I mean, as long as you're under the maximum mass the hull will pass with a Higgs, basically you want to try to build a ship that comes as close to that maximum as possible. And there are some instances where you could have it as close as possible, but your prop mod would push you over. And like I said, you could jump through and then turn your prop mod on at the last second, and it would actually calculate you passing through as if you had your prop mod on. So it allowed you to roll holes faster.
So a frigate hole, even if you are a frigate, if you're over mass, it still won't let you jump normally, or it shouldn't let you jump, right?
Yeah. If you were over mass.
Okay, got it. I was thinking that if you're a frigate, you could go no matter what, but got it. That makes more sense.
Although it'd be hard pressed to try to get a frigate over the mass. Maybe you could do it with like a Desi.
Cool. So, other than that, what other fun stuff you guys want to talk about, or do we want to do a shorter than normal episode?
I want to hear about this battle heron.
All right, battle heron. Well, I mean, depending on the purposes I want to use it for. The basic premise behind it is I use auto cannons for the 2 high turret hard points, and it's dual medium ancillary shield booster. So, I mean, I've even charged at Arty Thrashers with it, and as long as I get the ancels running in time, they're very quickly shitting bricks trying to figure out what they need to do. Let's see. I got to fit somewhere. I can link it in the channel for you if you want.
That's awesome. Yes, I definitely want. I always look for fun shit like that to do.
It works great. And I put the token relic analyzer on it just so I could at least look like I'm trying to hack. But Asteros will take the bait all the time, and you just face tank them and slowly whittle them to death with drones and autocannons.
That's too funny. Yeah, a little bit of bravado goes a long way. We told that story before on our podcast, but Rafe Collins chased a Proteus all across Fountain with a unfit Kestrel because the guy could not figure out what the hell he was doing.
That is madness.
I'm sure he thought it was a Sino. I imagine that's what he figured it was a tackle Sino, but he didn't. He never turned and fought. He never turned and killed it. He ran up from one end of Fountain to the other, all the way to Iridia.
Speaking of unexpected Sino, so on one of my alt characters, I decided I wanted to get in the business of doing some hauling. So I had a shit butt ton billions worth of IS, and I said, you know what, I am able to fly a freighter in about an hour of training, so let me get the training going on that. And I bought a what is the Galente freighter? Obelisk. So I got an Obelisk, and I had a bunch of stuff that I had in from asset safety wraps across several characters. So I had it all in one place, and I was like, okay, let me just contract it to myself, and I'm gonna freight this thing. Now I've been making jumps in and out of this area. There's a Losec somewhere in the region of Misaba, I want to say, and is that where Jane Lab? I think that's near Masaba. But yeah, I bought the freighter there because there just happened to be one right there in that low sec system. I bought it, fit it up as best I could. I mean, just with the expanded cargo holds, packed everything nice and neatly up in there. I had already created a insta undock, so as soon as I undocked, I did an insta undock warp to 200 off. Got to the gate, Sino was lit. I mean, there had only been one other person in system at the time, and followed me right out of that station and dropped a shit ton of ships on me, and I was done in less than 2 minutes. So I'm talking, I had this ship for all of 5 minutes, and it was molested. So I'm guessing someone had seeded that onto their or had built that there, and as soon as they saw that it was sold, they got the fleet up and running. I'm guessing that's the only thing that I can.
Well, they built it there. That's there as bait. I've
Yeah.
fallen for it before too.
Yeah, as soon as I did it, I was like, this is bait. This has got to be bait.
Yep.
Because the price was just so nice, you know. I was like, oh, it's only like a couple $100 million under Jitta price, so shit, why not? But I did.
Fortunately, I'm a dick. I fell for the same trap. I'm like, I undocked and like saw they didn't do the silent thing to me. They were on the outside of the station waiting for me to try to warp away. It was something slow aligning, so they would have gotten me for sure. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck you guys. I stuck back up and then logged off.
Yeah.
And then went and played a different character, came back, and it took me 4 tries of logging in until they were finally not online.
Yeah. I figured, I kind of figured something like that would happen, which is why I made that insta undock. So I did that, got out far enough. I'm like, cool, I'm good. I lined straight over to the gate, got on the gate, and then boom. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. So luckily I insured it, so I didn't lose out in too much, and it was just asset safety shit that I would have lost anyway. So, not a big deal. But yeah, I'm trying to learn how to do
It's
some
still
of that.
frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, like anytime you lose, it's like,
Yeah, I kind of got up, stared at the screen. It was like, all right, you know what? It's cool. It's just a game. It's just a game. I ended up buying another one anyway, so not a big deal. Hobar, you put that fit in there. I'm gonna go ahead and try and link that somehow into the Twitch chat.
I mean, it's a pretty shit bit, but it's fun.
No, it looks like it looks like it would work too. It's funny. I could see that just tearing the stereos up.
Yeah, the other day I tanked. I think we had 3 Asteros and a Saber on me, and we got the Saber and one of the Asteros before the Heron and then the Astero friend I had that jumped in got killed.
And it looks cheap enough to where you lose it, you're not out a bunch.
Yeah,
Especially if like you said, you trade it for another trade it for an Astero, then you die. You won.
yeah, it's like 10 mil.
There, I'm finding a better way to put it on screen.
I will be giving that a try. That's funny. We do the not that shit, but we do it with an X courier, combat fit X courier, and you go out there and you try to make it look like you're lost or like behind the fleet or something, get people to jump on you. And it's been about a month ago now. 2 of us. Well, I almost had it myself because my friend was on his way to help. 2 of us took out a Hurricane with 2 combat fit X couriers.
That's nice. Yeah, we have we like to fly NERB at least. I like to try to get people out in fleets full of just complete weird crap fit stuff. Like one of our executor fits is the battle.exe is what we call it. And it's literally just a single rep on each executor spider tanking, blaster drone freaking fleet. It's
we
kind of hilarious.
We don't need to do the reps on ours. We just do straight combat. And
yeah.
The thing with that Hurricane, and I talked to him after the fight was over. He's like, yeah, I kind of forgot about your drones until it was too late. It's like, yeah, because they don't hit you very hard. They just pick at you.
All right, I posted that fit that's up on the screen. So if you're looking at the screen, you'll see it up there. I already made sure it's working.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. Appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I sit around all day and try to think up weird stuff like that.
LB needs a drag back down.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, yeah, I've set my personal Eve goal is I want to try to get a kill in every ship possible to get a kill.
That is
What a great goal.
That's a pretty good goal. My goal is to not die as often.
I don't know who it was. I saw it on, and I don't remember where I see it now. Frosty, Get Frosty, maybe? I don't remember what group it was. Somebody
Stay
celebrating
Frosty.
their 15,000 kills. Their 15,000th kill.
One person?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I've got like a couple dozen or so. I'm not
I got 2,400. It's not that many compared to 15,000. Hopefully that guy started in 2003. Has been kicking ass since then. But my luck will be he did it in like 2 years or something stupid like that.
Yeah,
I'm doing the guy a disservice. I wish I remember where I saw it or who it was.
Yeah, PvP is not really like my biggest goal in Eve. I mean, if I'm part of a fleet, obviously I'll go out and do it. But for the most part, I just like to do stuff and find things to do. I like to not so much mine, but I like to do PI. I like to do just go into wormholes and see what's in there and just putz around. As long as I'm talking to people and enjoying myself, I guess it's worth it.
Yeah, sounds like you need to join a wormhole group.
I actually was part of a wormhole group a couple of years back, and I've put a lot of thought into going back into one. Obviously, we know a lot of the guys from NoSov and various different places, but yeah, it's probably something I'm going to end up doing eventually. Once I get done with training over the next few weeks and over Christmas break, I'm gonna probably move in somewhere. So I definitely have to keep you in mind.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, shit. No, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I looked up the all-time killers, and 15,000 doesn't make. Well, I guess it does not make the top 10. Holy shit!
A lot of people have been playing this game a long time.
Person named Tao AD has 31.5 thousand kills.
How do you have point?
No way, he's cheating. 31,000 kills, 967 losses.
Sounds like a G to undock camper.
You know what? You're right. That's what it sounds like to me. That's not. There's no way. Now I'm mad at him.
All right, so I've only got a few hours before I got to start heading out the door, so I think we'll start wrapping it up if you guys want to.
All right, sure, yeah.
Yep. So let's go. We'll go from the bottom all the way to the top. So Hobart, we'll start with you, and do any kind of shout outs or plugs on anything that you want to talk about?
Oh, I mean, I already plugged my alliance, saying we're always looking for people, including Kale Decadence. We'd love to have him in court. But yeah, and more people get to wormhole space. It's dead sometimes. I mean, it's great out here. I'm telling you. If you haven't tried it, you'll love it. Get in wormhole space. Doesn't matter if you're joining a group or just trying to start out on your own in a C1 or a C2. Just even day trip. Just get to wormhole space.
Yeah, you're talking the truth because there shouldn't have been any way that I flew with Thanatos through 5 wormholes to go from nullsec to lowsec by myself with no scouts. That should not have happened. So
yeah,
more people in wormholes that equals more dead Kale Decadence Thanatoses. Because I've done it a couple times.
Motivation right there.
Come find me. Catch me outside. LB, what you got, man?
Shout out to TNT. We're doing a little mini deployment out to Tartoken, having a good time out there. Any of the alpha players out there, newer players out there, go out and find yourself a corp. It's a social game. Go out and get yourself in a corp. But remember, you can vote with your feet. If you don't like what you find, leave it and go find a new one.
So solid advice. Dominarch, what about you, bud?
Well, I guess LB said for such it was so good. I don't know what to say now. FBX is also recruiting. You can come join us. We're in the same Blue Donut as TNT. You get to fly with LB every once in a while. I'd like to say to you, Kale, thanks for having me on. And I didn't get a chance to talk to you, but I hope you had a great Veterans Day um, and have fun in deployment.
Yeah, shit, what did I do? I had a pretty decent Veterans Day, but I had an even better Thanksgiving weekend. I made 15 gallons of beer over this past weekend.
What's been your favorite beer you made?
So I made a sour pale ale a few months back. It was single malt, single hop, just 2 row and Amarillo hops, and it was amazing, and everybody loved it and wants me to make more. So I think
What do you use it to sour it?
I actually did a quick kettle method. So all I did was I did a mash of about, I don't know, 8 pounds of 2 row, and then I threw in a handful or so of just grains in there, and I put it in a heating on a heating pad inside of a heat box at 120 degrees for a couple days.
Oh,
And
okay,
it,
cool.
yeah, got nice and funky. Then I boiled it up and fermented for a week and a half.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was really good. But yeah, this weekend I made a holiday spiced beer, a Hefeweizen, and a stout, which will be the base of a peanut butter banana stout in a few weeks.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be fit for the king, mama.
Hey, I'm not a beer maker, but I sure am a beer drinker.
Yeah, I'm a
I'm in
beer
the same
drinker.
boat there.
Yeah, if you're into craft beer and stuff that's kind of outside the realm of Natty Light or Bush, you definitely want to invest in making some beer because the cost savings are through the roof.
Yeah, I could take a look into that. I don't really necessarily have the time, but I thankful I live in Texas and we have a ton of nice craft beers around.
Yep, that's in fact I'm from Texas as well.
Revolver, Blood, and Honey. I love
Oh
that
yeah,
stuff.
it's really good stuff. Let's see, and Conduct, any last words?
Yeah, and shout out to the insurrection for always kicking people's shit in. Whether you've been playing for hours or years, we'd love to have you.
Absolutely. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, don't really have much. If you see me on EVE Online, go ahead and shout out to me somewhere. Actually, either yesterday or day before, I was actually passing through a system and I saw Riverini from EVE News 24 and said hello to him. So it's always nice to pass through systems and you see somebody that you recognize. So don't ever be a stranger. If you see someone you know in system, say hello.
You can say hello with bullets.
Yeah, it's true. I actually found oh, what's his name that doesn't do podcasts very often. Not Asher.
Fincher?
No, there was another guy, but I saw him in system and I tried hunting him down a little bit, but he kept talking up. Thank you, Alex, for the host, but we're finishing, so that's moot. Anyway, so from all of us, we've got myself, Conduct, Uzumaki. That's a really hard name to say. Dominark, LB, and Hobar Mallow. We appreciate you listening / watching the Mind Clash episode 64. Hopefully I can try and con Murdud into getting this posted up when he comes back from his little vacay on Wednesday. But we'll catch you next time.